Have you ever wondered what PT would be like in VR? I think this game might have you covered. So before we begin, full disclosure, I did receive a review key for this game, but like usual, all my opinions in this review are entirely of my own. If you already knew that Evil Inside was originally released as a flat screen game in 2021, then you probably also know exactly what this game is trying to be. It is essentially a reimagining of PT, the legendary playable teaser created by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. Some people will call that a blatant ripoff, and they're not entirely wrong. But here's the thing. PT was only a demo, and the full game never happened. It was removed from the PlayStation Store, and unless you still have a console with it installed, it's likely you're never going to be able to experience it. So in a way, I appreciate what Evil Inside is doing. This is the closest most people will ever get to playing something like PT in VR. The game lasts about an hour, and I do wish the developers had expanded it into something longer, maybe 4 to 5 hours with more environments, would have made this a much easier recommend. Even so, as both a VR enthusiast and a horror fan, I had a great time with it. And atmosphere is where this game shines. The sound design, lighting, jump scares are all very effective. Even when I knew something was coming, the build up still got me. That creeping tension is what I want from a horror game, and Evil Inside delivers it. I don't scare easily. I've been watching horror movies since I was a kid, and most games don't get much of a reaction out of me. This one still managed to keep me on edge though. Gameplay is simple. You're exploring, solving light puzzles, slowly uncovering the story, which isn't that great. It barely does anything to this experience. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. I'm here to be scared, so I'll let it pass. It is very much a walking simulator, so it's important to know that going in. Graphically, it's not pushing the Quest hardware, but that doesn't really matter here. In a horror game, atmosphere matters far more than visual fidelity. Now let's talk about the price. At $14.99, I do think it's a little expensive for a 1-hour experience. That makes this a somewhat tough recommendation at full price. If it goes on sale, or if it lands on Horizon Plus, it becomes an easy game to suggest to horror fans. But at full price, this is best suited for people who love VR horror and want to experience everything the genre has to offer. Because the game is so short, I also don't want to say much more about it. Part of the fun is going in without knowing exactly what is waiting around the corner. So is Evil Inside fun? If you're a horror fan looking for a tense and creepy VR experience, then yes. If you're expecting a longer game with lots of replay value, you may want to wait for a sale. But for just the right audience, this is a very effective horror experience, and one of the closest things you'll find to PT, especially in VR. But that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this review, like and subscribe for more straight to the point VR reviews here on isitfunvr, and let me know in the comments whether you played Evil Inside on flat screen or in VR and what you thought about it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.